Record to
I
this.
have the record. Oh, there you go. Okay. All right. Hi, Lauren. Congratulations on the
Oh, yeah.
baby.
Hi, Lauren. Hi,
Yay!
Ellery. As I'm sure you're also listening to this.
Yes.
Ellery is going to become real familiar with our voices as well. Isn't she so lucky? She probably
Isn't she
already
lucky?
is, considering she's been in the womb this whole time and been hearing all of us you and I jabber on as well. So hopefully she doesn't start
Yeah,
crying when she hears this.
she probably will. October 20th. Oh, that reminds me. Fastest story ever. I had a trainee who got pregnant at the beginning of our 2-year cohort together. And she had the baby, like we started in June, and she had the baby in February. And little Beckett. And the first time I met Beckett, he was like 6 months old. And he recognized my voice. He like just came right to me and he just loved me because he recognized my voice. And it was just, I felt
That's
honored. It was the
awesome.
sweetest thing. Yeah, it was cool. So,
Yeah, love it.
so, so he wasn't traumatized.
Not at all. Not at
Uh-uh.
all.
His
No,
mother was.
no, no.
Okay.
All right. Here we are, guys. This is definitely not going to take an hour and a half, but
Mm-mm.
um, just a few things we wanted to check in with you about. Um, you'll notice that our agenda keeping gets more and more informal as the time goes on. As Jen and I just throw stuff on here that we want to talk to you about. But in general, how's it? So this is kind of our agenda. How's it going? Um, so we want to talk through anything you guys want to ask us about or anything like that. There's a few things that we're going to try to point out. We want to point out to you all that we've noticed in observations and whatnot. But just a couple reminders first. Do keep track of your guided and independent observations. And I think Jen and I too are kind of helping with that as well. You know, there's that master like iCalp 2024, 2025, whatever is that spreadsheet with different,
Yeah.
right? Thank you, different like sheets on it. So like David, you just did Ashley's. I went in there and updated that. But I guess just kind of a check between all of us, you know, let's try to keep that updated. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Yeah, that thing. So perfect. Thank you. And then
So now I just kicked your agenda off.
yeah, I saw that. Thanks a lot. Anyway, so also just another reminder. Make sure I would highly recommend that you keep up with as much as you can documentation that Alta is going to want. So for example, Carrie just got done doing her presentation. Very, very well done, by the way.
So well done.
So she's going to want to keep a PDF of her lecture notes, right? The handouts that she gave the teachers, the lectures, the handouts or the lectures with her notes. Like, what did I say when this slide was on the screen? And then also, Carrie, if I didn't tell you this, you're going to want to, they're not going to ask you to submit the video, but you have to have access to the video if they were to ask you. So if you go on to the knowledge check, which we were going to talk about this anyway. So Carrie, if I didn't already send this to you, every single knowledge check that we did that goes with each of the lectures has its own YouTube video link. So there's yours right there. So if you want to go into this document, or I can just copy it right
Okay.
now and paste it into the chat for you, make sure that because they won't contact Jen and I to ask for any missing documentation. They'll contact you.
Okay.
Okay. So
It's
just,
really rare, I'm telling you, because
yeah,
Claire and I were actually both on that committee for years, and I don't think we ever asked anybody.
I don't think I did.
It's really if I think if a person was questionable. So
Okay. Would it be good to put it, I just don't want to lose track of it. Is it a good idea to like hyperlink in that master spreadsheet that you've made for us where we're putting the dates, like
You certainly could.
kind of like the trainees are doing? Is that,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
don't
This
want to
one
lose
that
track
Jen
of
just
it.
had up right here. Here, right
Yeah.
here. Reading lecture
sure.
video right there. There, look at
Mhm.
that. I just pasted it for you.
Oh, thank you.
There you
Well,
go. So it
And
can
then I
live.
actually had a question about that.
Yeah.
Is that, so I didn't fill anything else in there. I just wanted to put the date in for the first reading lecture and spelling lecture, but is it all the same date for all the gray and all the yellow?
Oh, yes, it actually
Okay.
would be, right,
Okay. I
exactly.
figured,
And
I just didn't want to assume and
Oh
then mess
yeah, we
up.
should change those colors.
Like for all the reading lecture notes, written critique and video, that would all be the same date, 10/9.
yeah, and
Yeah.
actually these don't need dates. It's just alerting you that these things are going to be needed.
Or
Like
maybe I should hyperlink those too, like those documents
Sure.
from my drive,
you
like right
certainly
into
could
that.
if you want to. You're more
Just
than
to keep track
welcome.
of it all in one. I mean, I have
Mm-hmm.
like a folder going in my drive for
Hmm.
my lecture, but if it's, I could just link it here too, and then I'd have two spots. Okay.
You could also, any of you, by the way, could, here's like your other, like this is specific to Carrie Perman, this log
Right.
here. That's another place you could put things if you want, but certainly on the
Oh,
front
that's
is
true.
completely
Yeah.
fine as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, okay, great. Okay. Anything else about that, Jen?
Well, what if we ask people how it's going?
Let's do that.
Okay. But
I
no,
feel like
nothing else on that.
I feel like it's going well. I feel like we're in like a lull for me at least. Like all my trainees had their observations of that first like 2 weeks ago, and now it's very quiet, which is
Yep.
fine. 'Cause
Yeah.
the lecture like was stressful, you know, it was a lot to do too. So like I feel like it's going fine and they're not really asking me a lot. I'm just like checking in and they're fine.
Yeah.
So
Gosh, and they have done well. They have done well. Just so y'all know, Vicky is recording her second observation uh Monday, Tuesday, I think. And so she'll have hers in next weekend. I am going to visit my mom next weekend, but I'm anticipating probably, actually, I wouldn't mind setting this up with you guys, or at least checking base. Not this Monday, tomorrow, but Monday the 28th. What time do I get in? Oh, okay. I get in. I would get to my house around probably 7 p.m. So maybe that's not the best idea. But Mondays were good days for at least two, if not three of you. Is Tuesday also a possibility though? Just in case I do have any flight issues or delays. Tuesday the 29th. Okay, that might work for Carrie. Um, Wednesday, like right after school for you guys could be a possibility too. Um, like 1:30 or whatever for me in the afternoon, 3:30 in the afternoon for you, 4 in the afternoon. Is that better?
Are you saying Tuesday or Monday, the 28th or the 29th? What do you?
Okay, so I get back home on Monday the 28th, probably around 7 p.m. So I probably better not do Monday after all.
So the
But
29th.
so Tuesday the 29th, I finish with a kiddo at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. That'd be 8 o'clock your time, which is a little late. Or I could do earlier Tuesday afternoon, like right after school, maybe. Or Wednesday afternoon for you guys, right after school.
either one would work for me.
Okay. Is one or the other better for you, David or Chrissy? Or the problem is, after Vicky, I don't have anybody it's probably gonna be a little while before I have any other second observation.
But I
Carrie,
might, you know, we always have, you can have more than
yeah,
one opportunity to do one.
yeah,
And it doesn't mean you can't keep doing independence of a first observation. And it's not like even the first and the second are really all that different. It's just kind
yeah,
of nice to, you know,
that's true.
I mean, there's still the foundational lesson plan. So don't worry
Yeah.
about that. It's not, so there will be another opportunity to do
Hmm.
a guided first observation, sorry, second observation. We just like to not have all of the first, we don't want all the observations that are guided to be the same number one or number two, you know, we want them to space out. So
Yeah, I could Tuesday, like the later time would work better. I could
Like 8
probably do
p.m.
Wednesday right after school. Yeah, the 8 p.m. on
Okay.
Tuesday. Or I could probably do Wednesday after school. I just need to, my husband works, but I need to send my kids with other people, which is fine. I can figure that out. I've got some time to kind of work that out. So,
Same. I can do either one. I just need to know how to just to
Okay.
make plans on the back end.
Yeah. Okay. Well then, maybe let's do Wednesday after school for you guys.
so 3:30.
So yeah, whatever time you tell me, and so it'd be like 1:30 for me. So does 3:30 work for all of you, or would 4 o'clock be better?
3:30 is good for me.
Yeah, 3:30 is fine.
Okay. Then let's
Yeah, I
plan
can do
on that.
3:30.
Okay. It'll be faster. Let's say, let's do a 2.5 hour block, and I'm gonna do everything within my power to make it not last that long. I will probably send you all of Vicky's stuff before, and if you want to preview it before, and if you want to make comments on it, you could do that before. I will actually probably do that. I'll probably at least read through her lesson plan, and as I see, you know, as I see things, I write it in. I've been doing that lately. I write it in, just looking over the lesson plan. Then when I watch the video, I can pay much better attention to the video and not like stop it and rewatch it and stuff as much because I've already made so many comments just based on what I've seen with the lesson plan. So I'll send you all the parts, and then we'll plan on Wednesday, 3:30 Eastern time.
The other thing, just to chime in, that can be helpful
Oh.
is to look back at the first one and really
Yeah.
make sure that what
Mhm.
you said you wanted her to do differently, especially if you took points off, you know, is something that you want to look for sometimes, especially in that next one too, just especially if it's a little procedure,
Yes.
you know, tweak or
Yes,
something.
I will make sure I send that also.
Can I ask you a
Thank you.
question, Kara, about and Jen, about the amount, getting all the observations in for the independent?
Mhm.
Are you guys kind of watching that? Like, because I feel like, well, I've only done 2. I know we have plenty of time left to get them all done, but I don't want to I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get to the end and have like 5 left and have to knock a bunch out at once. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you kind of watching that as well? Like to throw us some if
I'm
Yes.
kind of encouraging Chrissy to like try to do 4 for every single one. So she's spacing it out and then she's got her 20 at the end of the year.
Right. That's kind of what I
So
was thinking. And then,
yeah.
but I don't have any to do right now. You know what I mean? Like,
I can send one your way. I'm
Carrie,
expecting one more.
Carrie, don't say that out loud because you know who will send you one.
yeah.
No, I mean, Carrie, you've got 5 folks in Worthington that, I mean, you know, who are turning
Right.
things in. And that's just the nature of it too, is they just kind of come in clumps. You know,
Right,
I mean, they kind of do start to, you know, they will start to kind of because people will have scheduling issues and then that one
Mhm.
backs that one up. So it does kind of the first ones who are the people that are really on it, on top of things, they do kind of come fast and furious. And then
Yeah.
after that, they kind of are more spread out. So,
Okay.
you know, we will make sure that you get your 20 total. And it won't be, we do try to, like Jen said, we try to do like not all of them are going to be the first observation. We want to space it out.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Right.
absolutely. And you can always check back on that we're keeping it all on that master document that we just showed, you know, that everybody has access to. So, yeah, I think for you're just waiting for second observations to come in, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. And with 5 people to choose from, you'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to talk. Yeah. mention that.
Absolutely. Yep.
Well,
How
and I
many
get
people
Zoe-
are left that need to do their first one?
I have one. I just have Zoe Price. So when hers come in, I'll see if anybody wants it, especially if it happens to hit when I'm visiting my mom next weekend. Oh yeah, did I say that? I'm visiting my mom next weekend. There was a little lull, and I really need to go see her in Oregon, give my sister a little break. So
Right now, I'm just waiting for one also. And yes, it looks
Yeah,
like,
you
yep,
got
Jen's got
Christine,
one.
right?
You're waiting. I got
Yeah.
Christine and you're waiting for Zoe. Yep.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. What's the next agenda item?
Well, anybody else have a
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. How's it
check-in?
going? David, Chrissy?
Things are going well. All of the trainees that I've been working with have been doing fantastic, communicating really well, and I haven't had any real issues, so it's been great.
Yeah, I would say same. I feel like the same as Carrie. It does feel like a little bit of a lull right now. I'm not getting as many email questions from my trainees as I was, in the beginning. But most of them did pretty well too. So they're doing good.
You guys all gave such good feedback. I was,
Mhm.
because I saw samplings of everyone's. Chrissy and Lauren, of course, saw it more deeply and really very well done.
Yeah, you
And
guys are
Chrissy,
doing awesome.
she'll often see things that I didn't even notice. I'm like, oh wow, yeah. So it's great. I have more than one set of eyes on him. So
Good. All right, awesome. All right. Just checking back in on the October lectures. You guys saw how quickly that all goes, right? As we said, it is a fire hose of information. We do not stop, pumping out the information, and there's not a ton of time to, for much, not to not ask questions, but that's what I really like, honestly, about the chat feature, which I think we should keep doing, which is submit your questions in the chat. And then folks who are not lecturing can be the ones to kind of monitor that, because not every question needs to be answered in the meeting. And it's not because it's not a good question, but it might be kind of a sidetrack that we don't have a ton of time for. So I think please feel free to answer questions in the chat, as they come in. But I think it worked out pretty well, and you guys can tell me to kind of have, it's kind of nice for the lecturer not to have to really worry about the chat and to have other folks kind of monitor that and kind of screen the questions.
I was actually going to bring that up, Kara, because remember, Jen, you lost power, and
yeah, I
so
was not helpful.
yeah, and
Yeah,
well, that's
Jen.
okay.
Come
But
on, Jen.
I had hosting capabilities because I was presenting, so
Yeah.
I was seeing like it was. Kara, you probably, I mean, I was answering and I was like letting people, it was more so that I was letting people into, like David answered some stuff too, which was great, but I was letting people into the waiting room. Like people were in the waiting room because they kept getting kicked off, but you didn't even know because you were lecturing. And so I was going to
Okay.
mention that it's probably a smart idea to have us all, one of us or backup, because
Yeah.
people would have been sitting there and I wouldn't have been able to let them in. You know what I mean? Like, but it
Oh,
just so
yeah.
happened that I had hosting capabilities, so I was able to let them all in because Jen was gone. And like a couple people kept getting kicked out all the time. Like they kept coming back in.
Uh-huh.
And so that might just be something moving forward to have at least one, like even a different person every time, but like one of it, I don't care who it is. Like it could be me every time. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But like have somebody also have that capability. Cause I could hear it ding on your computer, Kara, but you probably didn't even see it,
Right. Sure.
so it's just something to
Yeah.
next time.
Yeah, that was
Gosh.
fun. When poor Jen,
I know,
all
I
of a
felt so
sudden
bad.
all of a sudden she couldn't, she
It
was
was
out of the
stressful.
meeting. I'm like, where'd Jen go?
Frustrating.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, she quit. All right.
Super
That's
stressful.
fine. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, if it's,
At least it wasn't you.
well, and it was like, yeah. And I mean, it's just like crazy, right? So anyway, so I think that's,
Yeah.
yeah. Any other thoughts on that? Or
No,
just in
that's great
general in
though, Carrie.
October?
Thank you.
I thought
I
it went well.
loved having, oh, go ahead, David.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I thought it went well, and I mean, what you guys just suggest makes sense. So
Okay.
I liked reading over everybody's questions and people wrote well. I know Chrissy, thank you for helping out with that afterwards. I think Carrie's jumping on this go to actually build it, and flush them out.
Yeah.
And then Kara came on too, which of course was awesome because she's got that mind for, she's just got a good mind, doesn't she?
Thank
Yeah.
you. Gosh,
Well, you're welcome.
I'll
Stay
take
with
that.
it.
Yeah, you guys, awesome job. I think this is such a great, Jen and I implemented this knowledge check thing after the lectures. I don't know, sort of maybe halfway through a couple years ago, maybe, Jen. I can't even remember, but we were like, we
It was
gotta,
last year.
was it last year? Oh, look at that. You got your
No, I'm on the show and
book.
tell talking about your great mind. Look at this, you
Aw,
guys. This is Kara's
thank
book.
you.
Congrats. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Isn't that awesome? You guys, it's wonderful. If you've read Sue Headlands, Beneath the Surface of Words, she talks about spelling, and so much of what we do in spelling is because of her, isn't it, Kara?
Yeah,
Because of the work she had done. Content, function, just matrices. I should let you talk. But Kara and her friend Jennifer Constantine, she can't get away from the Jennifers. Um,
it's
they like
kind of a pain, actually. I might have to drop one of you, but anyway, go ahead.
they fleshed it out and made it kind of move from theory to just wonderful guide for teachers to implement it and just to make it a practical and almost seamless um, movement right into the classroom. That was very poorly spoken, but
Well,
it's
thank you.
really great. And I'm encouraging her to try to be the keynote speaker at our Reading in the Rockies next year. So she gets a free hotel room so I can come and stay with her.
No
Yeah,
pressure.
don't let her think that it's anything for me. It's so that she can get a free hotel room. All right. Let's just be clear about what's going on here. All
Those
right.
different gens, always looking
Yeah,
for.
I'm telling you, watch out. Okay. Just watch
Sneaky.
out. I'm saying.
I
Okay.
will pick him up from the airport.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
Hey,
Jeez Louise.
anyway, I'm
Anyway,
really proud of you. It's a
thank,
wonderful book.
thank
I'm
you. Thank
excited to
you.
use it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
Anyway, so yeah, great job. Thank you guys so much for this. So yes, Chrissy and Jen, I think this is just such a great addition to what we're doing. And Jen has been the one to grade all of the homework, and it really illuminates for us too, like, oh, maybe we could have been clearer about that, or and I think we've even fielded some folks even outside of the homework have a couple of trainees, I think from Worthington, were like, I wasn't, and even Marysville, I wasn't sure about this question, but here's how I answered it, and why is that wrong? And that's the kind of conversation we want to have happen, and you can tell they're really thinking about it. So yes, I think next week, or not, it's not next week, but in November, I think Chrissy, or no, not Chrissy, Carrie, I think I put you on the agenda for doing those cleaning up of the questions.
Yeah, I think I saw
Okay.
Carrie's name.
If that will work for you. So Carrie, what that means is you just
Yeah.
stay on a little bit more after,
Okay.
and we just go through the questions and clean them up,
Okay.
and
Sure.
say, these are the ones we definitely want to use.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, about 30 minutes, or maybe it was 40.
Okay.
Anyway, less than an hour.
Yeah.
Sounds
Is
good.
that okay? Are you good for that November 13th, Carrie?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. All right, awesome. And of course, David is going to lecture in November. So we've already
Yeah.
started mapping all of that out. Just FYI, that's coming together. I think everyone's also, if we're done with that agenda item,
Yeah.
everyone has got their questions or are working on their questions for overcoming dyslexia. Chrissy, thank you for doing a little switch for us and switching
Yeah.
chapters, just so you all
That's
know.
okay.
Thank you. Yeah, we really appreciate that. We took another look at that diagnosing dyslexia chapter. And just to give you a little bit of our thinking about that is that Dr. Shaywitz has a very, just a much more clinical view of kind of dyslexia, and she has a real, I think, place in her heart, and she talks a lot about gifted dyslexics, which definitely need to be advocated for, no question about it. But that particular chapter in overcoming dyslexia, very much, it's not very school. It's not really how we do it in schools. It's a much more clinical kind of model. And so we kind of just were like, we just don't want that. We just don't feel like that chapter in particular was going to be very helpful for the population of people that we're speaking to, which is people that work in schools, right? Because we should be using much more of an MTSS framework, and you guys know all the things. So then, however, though, kind of worked out nicely because chapter 21 was actually hadn't been assigned, but it was actually very relevant to very relevant information for our trainees, and talked more about actually teaching kids with dyslexia. So she talks about
Yeah.
Samuel Orton and and all that, like who were some of the people behind that, getting that started. So that's just just in case you wanted to know, these are the kinds of things that the kinds of decisions. I think it's nice for you to have a little insight into the kinds of conversations that Jen and I have about being a trainer, and the kinds of decisions that you will make about what assignments are you going to have your trainees read. Are you going to use Overcoming Dyslexia? Are you going to use the Birch book? Are you going to use something else? And really thinking about what just kind of making those decisions, because we can tell you that ALTA doesn't have any pre-prescribed, like you have to use the Birch book, or you have to use this or that, or you have to use these readings. It's really up to you as the trainer. Jen, did you want to add to that?
Oh, it's just always it's so fun though. Pair up if you decide to, I don't know, if you decide you want to kind of move towards something like Kara and I are doing. Team up with somebody you really, really like. And
Yeah.
that's
Not
really that's really smart. So you
I'm
see,
gonna-
I made a good choice.
yeah,
Kara
what she
is
means
regretting.
is, right.
No, it's so fun though, because we're all such word nerds, and I just love the conversations that we have and the opportunities we have to feed off each other. And we were passing back and forth all these different articles and listen to this podcast and all these things. It's just such a joy. And I've really been missing that after I left the public schools in 2016 and before I paired up with Kara, just missing that camaraderie. And I don't know, I'm having crazy moments here. I'm like, maybe I do want to get my PhD because been doing a lot of extra research with vocabulary and comprehension for the advanced class, but also for an asynchronous lecture for intro to fill a little hole in our Ohio application. But anyway, it's just such a joy. It's such fun. So we've
Couldn't
been
agree
gotten to
more.
have a little bit of that with David too, with the technology. And then he's such a word nerd. He's always like, "Hey, read this delicious book." It's like, absolutely. So we need to start have little book studies or something, just extras.
Yes. In fact, I would love to do that after all this is done. My most recent read is Spell It Out by David Crystal. Anything by David Crystal is going to be like absolutely fantastic. He's British, so you are going to have to deal with some British spellings and whatnot. But anyway, this would be we could do a book study on this just as our group, maybe when that would be fun. The training year, as you can see, I've already got tons of sticky notes, and I'm in I'm only 60 pages in. So anyway, it explains tons of spellings, explains tons about why the scribes used doubling, for example, and how that all came about, and that there really is a reason for the spelling of 99.9% of words. Anyway.
Oh, that just reminded me of another little tidbit I just read last night, because I am beneath the surface of words with first some credits. Okay, maybe you already knew this, but let's talk about the word I. So she was talking about homophones, and so we've got the capital I pronoun all by yourself, but then there's the I, this E-Y-E, and she said it's really logical. The reason it is spelled that way because a Y also takes the place of an I, and so we also know that E is often just stuck at the end of a word. And so they did that, and for whatever reason, they also put one at the beginning. So that's why your eyeball is spelled E-Y-E. It's like, oh my goodness. I don't know. Okay.
Totally. I know, right? Got to have three
It's
letters. It's a content word. So that E.
Exactly. Oh, that's why they stuck an E at the beginning, because it's a content word. It had to have three letters. They threw one on the end. They're like, we need one more letter.
There you
Absolutely.
go.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Love it. Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
anyway, yes, we'll keep that, you know,
I
because
don't
you
know
guys
why
are,
our meetings always go so long, Kara.
I know, right?
Weird.
Exactly. Okay, Jen, do we want to start this as a new recording, this part? Because we might share
Okay,
it
sure.
out. Do you want to do we decide
Yeah,
to kind of do that? Okay, great.
let's do that.
So just so you know, be on your best behavior, interns, because we
Yeah,
thought
I
it
need to
might be
too.
a good idea to